goes by so slow.
To a bumpy start. Must be the topic. No, I'm not singing. This is music by Adam Kalma. I think he's in the audience. He's out there today. What's up, Adam? It's Adam's music. So I think we're already buffering like a mofo because of the title, maybe. My nigga, my brother, Black Jesus. It's all about Black Jesus. Black motherfucker Jesus. Jesus was black, right? That's what they say, right? So let's see what we can do here. Let's see if we can. But I hope we're not buffering. It looks like we're pretty much pretty much up and running. So sorry for the bumpy start. I don't know what happened. It just goes red. All right. So Jesus is under attack. I know it's a very touchy subject. We're going to try to play this with kids' gloves. No disrespect meant whatsoever. I'm just simply here reporting the news on some crazy guy, Sean King, who basically set up the attack for people to attack the white version of Jesus, because of course Jesus was black. He lived in Israel, and those were blacks, and he was an Arab, and he escaped to Egypt because that's where the blacks were, and he could blend right in. Right? So he wasn't a European white, history says. Or was he? I don't know. We'll find out. Let's look. We'll take a look. Look at the allegations, and I don't know, man. That's a war. I don't think you want to start that war. Now you're talking about. You're not just talking about white versus black. You're talking about religion versus. You're trying to denigrate someone's religion, whether it's accurate or inaccurate, or it doesn't matter. It's what people believe, right? So now you want to go in and change it. It's fucking. I don't know, man. That's a pretty heavy allegation. And some more beatings here in New York. Another cop got busted choking out this guy. We'll take a look at that. The kid in Seattle, you remember Chop, the guy the black kid that got shot in Seattle? He says it was racist. It was racist. It was right wing pretty boys that came in and instigated and shot him. So look at that story. That's kind of breaking story. Black Lives Matter. What else can we look at here? A lot of other stuff. We'll take a look at. Mount Rushmore is under fire. Mount Rushmore is under fire, but not really, because the governor there is coming to the rescue to save Mount Rushmore. A little news on Epstein. It looks like his victims can cash in, and then we'll dive deep into Black Jesus, Black Jesus. I can't make it up. So are we still here? Are we still allowed to speak on the subject? I guess so. We're still alive. This shit was bumpy as hell coming in, man. But so here we are. Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you very much for joining me. This is a very serious channel, by the way. It's actually very, very. It's people think of it as a kind of a joke and I'm a jackass and all this shit. But really, I'm actually a very, very serious, dedicated online journalist. And to support this fine work, you have to participate, right? You can't just sit on your ass and expect everything to be handed to you. You gotta throw some coin in the tip jar. Now, whenever I'm out on the street and I listen to musicians, I always chuck a couple bucks into the tip jar. When you see a video, my video of the artist on the street, I tip the guy. I always tip the guy, right? You never stiff the guy. You don't stiff. So part of this news revolution is chucking a couple bucks in the tip jar and becoming a Patreon once a month, right? It's a $2, $5, and you get free stickers. I send you a pile of stickers. You can't beat the deal, and you're part of the revolution. There's no strings attached, right? I'm not going to chase you around and force you to, do shit that you don't want to do. Right? You don't even have to put your name on it, right? You don't even have to put your name on it. Just kindly become a Patreon. Marcus Conte reporting. So, hey, good morning, everybody in the chat. Good morning, Vinny DiMartini on the wrench. Don't be a dick in the chat, and we will have a fine time. It's been I must say, we got to give Vinny DiMartini a hand for bouncing the chat, getting rid of the dicks, identifying the dicks, and deeming them soft. Right? He's been very effective. Thank you, Vinny DiMartini. Dead game in the house. Raymond Duncan. That was music, by the way, by Adam. Adam is in the audience. Adam Kalma. Adam Kalma. Give him a thumbs up over there. You already gave him a thumbs up. And subscribe. Time goes by. Time goes by. I like it. I'm sorry that the song got raped. We'll play it again at the end, but that's just the way it goes, man. Let's just go the way it goes in Conteville here, because I don't know. People don't. I don't know. YouTube. All of a sudden, everything is going fine. The internet's up. Everything's fine, and then all of a sudden, you start streaming, and bang, crash. Everything goes to shit. Is that coincidental? I don't think so. So we'll start with a few random stories. NYPD cops suspended over apparent chokehold, expected to be arrested. Wow. So this is out on Rockaway Beach. Remember where I was at the beach the other day, or a couple of weeks ago? I was sitting out on the beach. It was a cloudy day. I was meditating on the beach. I was doing my retard yoga. And, and so these a couple of brothers were on the beach. They were on the boardwalk. And the chokehold has apparently been outlawed in New York City. Police cannot use a chokehold. Cannot no longer choke a motherfucker out. Right? As if it needs to be announced, right? Like as if it's something you would have to think about. No, don't choke and kill the suspect before he has his trial or has a chance to speak. An NYPD cop suspect. I got the video. Let's watch the video first. Let's watch the video. So here's the cops. Here they are doing their job, right? They call this police work.
Just stay back. Stop the view. Well, I'm just trying to go here. This is shit. Yo, stop choking him, bro. You guys can record.
Yo, stop choking him.
And there he is. There's the cop. Where he's fucking choking him. You see that? There he is.
Yo, stop choking him, bro.
The cop is choking him.
Yo, stop choking him.
Yo, he's choking him. Let him go, bro.
Got him. He's out. He's out.
They choked him out and he's dead.
Officer,
He's
look
passed
at this.
out.
He's out. Look. Yeah, fuck you. Fuck you, Alfredo. Fuck you. Fucking faggot.
Because you got to catch him on film now. This is sad, right? He's out on the beach. I know the area.
Yo, stop choking him, bro.
You guys can record. Yo, stop choking him.
Yo, he's choking him.
And the other cop tapped him out.
He's out. Look. Officer, look at this.
So there's the evidence. I mean, these cops, you got to because they have guns, you can't take a baseball bat. I mean, what happens if that was your friend, right? What happens if that was your buddy? And you're on the beach and these cops come and they're about to kill your buddy. What do? You sit there and you watch it? Or do you take out a crowbar and smack the cop off the side of the head and probably get shot for it? I mean, what do you do? Right? It's a fucked up situation. Right? It's bad. That's really bad when you see that. If you're watching that, what if you're just a good Samaritan and you know, instinct is to take out a crowbar and smack the guy. Take the garbage pail and fucking smack it on his head and get him off of the guys before the guy dies. Right? Kill the cop before you kill the guy, right? I don't know. So NYPD cops suspend. I do know. I'm not going to say I don't know. I do know. It's fucked up, right? NYPD cops suspended for placing a suspect in an apparent chokehold. Apparent? In Queens is expected. Rockaway Beach is Queens. Is expected to be arrested on Thursday. Law enforcement sources said. Officer David Afandador is expected to turn himself in and face strangulation charges for the filmed encounter that took place Sunday morning on Rockaway Boardwalk. Always film the police, man. Whenever they go into action, whenever they're about to arrest people, take the camera out and hold it up. You never know what you're going to catch. Right? You may save a guy's life. And you may be responsible for bringing that cop to justice if your video works. So one of the 4 cops involved in the arrest of 35-year-old Ricky Bellevue, 35, had his arm around the man as the other 3 officers attempted to handcuff him, according to the 29-second clip. Well, I think it's pretty clear. What we saw. Bellevue picked up. Let's see what happened. What did the guy do? What did Bellevue do? The footage shows Bellevue and 2 others getting. So there was a video before a police body cam, 30 minutes. We haven't seen that, but who cares? Is it punishable by death? Is what the guy did out on the beach punishable by death? Let's find out. The footage shows Bellevue and 2 others getting angry with the cop over an earlier encounter. Oh, anger. Police sources said cops were flagged down on the boardwalk around 8:45 a.m. by people who said a man had been throwing objects at them and harassing them. All right, so let's check it out. What did the guy do? Bellevue picked up a can from a garbage and threw it at the cops when they approached him. All right. In the body, so shoot him, right? Oh, no, he's throwing stuff. Shoot him. Listen to what the cops said. The cop can be heard explaining to a female bystander, Bellevue is known to have mental illnesses. They're all obviously intoxicated about the trio, right? Quote, they were talking all types of crazy stuff to us. We did nothing. I don't care. Anybody can say whatever they want, the woman said. More quotes. What changed everything is when he grabbed something and squared off and was going to hit my officer who's standing over there, right? That's when everything changed, the cop said. The minute I saw him flex, and we're not going to leave somebody violent out there who might do that to someone else. We don't get hurt. Oh, what a quote.
Sir, apparently using a banned chokehold, which is absolutely disturbing to watch and unacceptable. And so what I saw here was something powerful and important in that the action of the NYPD to discipline this officer occurred very, very quickly. Within hours, this officer was suspended. Within hours, the body action, commend the Internal Affairs Bureau for their quick action. The public needs to see that when something is done wrong, there are consequences and they are swift, and that's what happened here. This is the fastest I've ever seen the NYPD act.
So you got to agree with Blasio there, right? Bellevue was taken to the hospital. Son of a bitch. You can't stop these ads, man. You can't stop the ads. I guess we got to listen to it, man. Alone together. Alone coronavirus.gov. Can we stop it now? So Bellevue was taken to a hospital. Bellevue is actually the name of a hospital here in New York. Was taken to a hospital to be treated for a laceration on his head, the sources said, denying he was unconscious. He can be seen in... Okay, so he's not dead. Right? They didn't kill the guy, right? But they came close, right? They're choking him. What is the point? Choke him until he passes out or they kill him? It's fucking crazy shit. So there it is. There's the badge number, Officer Afanador, badge number 31730. Bye-bye, jerky. You're out. So here's another crime against blacks, I guess. Man shot inside of Seattle's CHOP claims racists attacked him in hate crime. Oh, you remember when the press was saying, or the media was broadcasting that Chop and Chaz have turned violent? And it turns out, according to the guy who was attacked, if truthful, this gentleman is saying, what is he saying?
I'm a soft guy. I pride myself on being, a strong, independent black man. Right? But you guys, all across the world,
it's low audio, sorry.
Amazing. You guys are great. Like, the way you guys came and supported me and stood behind me, like, y'all giving me a fight to keep going. Like,
it's Black Jesus.
I'm looking different from yesterday. Last night, my lung collapsed, and so they put a drain tube there and try to keep the pressure off of that. I'm having problems with my intestines and keeping pressure off of that, so they got this tube running all the way down.
There's no volume switch. I don't know what the volume is.
I'm back in ICU. I can't eat anymore, probably for the next 36 hours, but I'm not going to stop fighting because y'all not going to let me.
All right, so this guy got shot, right? A man critically injured in one of the shootings inside Seattle's chaotic cop-free Chaz claims it was a hate crime committed by racist infiltrators who dropped the N-word. So, all right, he's the suspect. He's the guy. It's not the suspect. He's the victim, and the victim is speaking, and he said it was a bunch of white racists dropping the N-word. Juan Young told, that's his name? Juan Young. Who's going to play Black Jesus? Who's going to play Black Jesus in the upcoming Antifa film where they tear down the white Jesus and put up the Black Jesus? Who would play who in God's name can play Black Jesus, the Antifa version? Put your comments down below. Or drop them in the chat. I'm not sure if they were Proud Boys or KKK, Young told the station of the attack in the so-called Capitol Hill Anonymous Zone. But the verbatim that they said was, hold this ner and shoot him. The ner, the N-word, and shoot him. Speaking from a hospital bed, Young told the station that the force knocked him onto the hood of a car. All right, so that's all we want to say about that, really. What else we got? We got more shots? How you doing? This guy's Black Jesus right here, man. Is it going to be a famous Black Jesus, or take a guy like that, Al Sharpton? George's son says Al Sharpton is Black Jesus. That would be fucking awesome, man. Fucking Al Sharpton, man. It's Al Sharpton. I'm the Black Jesus. That's right. I'm from Harlem, and I'm Black Jesus. Remember Tawana Broly? Oh man, I love that shit. I love Al Sharpton. Does Jesse Smollett? He's too young and handsome. You want a fucking dirtbag like a Mr. Jefferson playing Black Jesus. That would be funnier, man. Al Sharpton. I love it, man. Love it. So Black Lives Matter have his. All right, so the other smear on Black Lives Matter. Remember this in Brooklyn, like all the people together. How much video do we have to see of this? Right, I got tons of it. Right, I was there. I was in the crowd. Right, people elbow to elbow. Everybody wearing a mask. But the allegation was that they're spreading coronavirus. Right. That's a beautiful shot. They're crossing the Brooklyn Bridge, entering Manhattan from Brooklyn. And you see Freedom Towers. Nice shot. Thank you, New York Post. Hey, excuse me. No. So Black Lives Matter protests have not led to a spike in coronavirus cases. Oh, I thought they were spreading the bug. So it's confirmed. Black Lives Matter protests haven't seen coronavirus cases surge in cities since the massive demonstration began. What does that tell you? What does it tell you about social distancing? What does it tell you about the actual statistics and the way it spreads? The asymptomatic spread of the virus is rare to non-existent. What does it tell you? It's just, I mean, the facts couldn't be more clear. Meanwhile, the government is saying, the establishment is broadcasting surge in coronavirus infections. Where? Where are these surgeons? Where is this? Show me a video of one sick person saying, I got coronavirus. Just show it to me. Show me the videos. Show me the evidence of sick people across this country with coronavirus, because I can't find it. I've been walking around the streets of New York City, the alleged epicenter of the coronavirus pandemic in the world, the epicenter, walking around without a mask, talking to people, getting right up in their business, and I can't seem to find a single sick person. I can't find anybody who knows a sick person. Anything more than a flu. So I don't know anybody who's seen anybody actually die in a hospital. We have no real footage of. I mean, it's just shit on top of shit. So here's more evidence, more damning evidence that in all of this non-social distancing, all of blacks and whites and young people jammed asshole to asshole together, zero spike in coronavirus cases. Now that's evidence. That's not speculation. That's not contradicting the party line. That is stating the facts. Found no evidence that coronavirus cases jumped in 315 cities in the weeks following the first protests. 315 cities across America had protests, and with no social distancing and half-ass mask wearing, touching the mask all day long, right? People not savvy in masking, and there's no spike. So where's the justification? Where is the science behind the 6-foot rule that is destroying city economies, crushing? You can't run a city if you have a fucking 6-foot rule. You can't half fill places. That's the beauty of a city, is jamming in. That's what people come to a city for. Look at all the people. Holy shit. We're crowded in, right? Busy streets, busy establishments, crowded restaurants, people standing on line, subways packed. It's part of the city, right? You can't dismantle that element of a city and expect it to be the same and or even compatible, competitive with what it once was. So that rule, although it doesn't really affect rural America or most of America, but you try to enforce something like that in big cities, you're fucked. Just say goodbye, right? But again, it's based on no evidence. Researchers determined that the protests may have been offset by an increase in social distancing among those who decided not to march. Using cell phone data, the study determined that more people opted to stay home. Bull fucking shit. While it was almost certain that the protests caused a decrease in social distancing behavior among protest attendees, we demonstrate that effect of the protest on the social distancing behavior of the entire population residing in counties with large urban protests was positive. So there you go. There's more evidence, right? So all of the protesting, all the jamming together had no effect, no upward mobility, no spike. You know what really had a spike in coronavirus? Andrew Cuomo is taking people with infectious flu and throwing them into a nursing home against very, very vulnerable elderly people and killing 5,000 of them because they were exposed to an extreme flu. That's fucked up. That's idiocy. Not having young, healthy people with no symptoms party on the street, protest, speaking up. You fucking idiots. I wonder. I would love to see what the consequences are going to be for Cuomo, the financial burden for all the old people that he killed by throwing them in there. So more evidence to suggest that why are you closing the beaches and the sunshine, right? Keeping people away. New study says summer sun can kill coronavirus in 34 minutes. I would say much less, right? Sometimes, like I ride the city bike, and sometimes, like if the bike is in the sun and you grab the handlebars, it's like hot. You got to wait for them to cool off. They have rubber on there, but for the most part, nothing is going to survive that. It's it's in direct sunlight. It burns. It sets the virus on fire. So strong summer sun is capable of wiping out 90% or more of coronavirus living on surfaces in just 34 minutes. A new study found. So anybody walking around, again, that's not to exclude. That doesn't mean if you're standing in the sun for 34 minutes, your body is rid of coronavirus. That's not what we're saying at all. But if you have the flu and you sneeze and it goes on on someone's handlebars, and someone comes along and grabs it, within a few minutes, well, I would say less than that, less than 30. I would like to see a virus survive 34 minutes in direct sunlight. Not going to happen. I'd say seconds. I would say maybe a minute at the max. Right. Scientists suggest that the midday sunlight in most U.S. and world cities during summer is extremely effective in activating the virus that causes COVID-19 when it's been coughed or sneezed onto a surface. Okay, so now we could put that to rest. Right? We could put that to rest in the summertime. However, it found the virus is most infectious from December and March, when it can live on surfaces for up to a day or more, with risk of aerosolization and transmission in most of these cities. Well, that's speculation. It's all speculation. It's just another common flu. So there you have it, man. Get out in the sun. When you don't have to wear a mask. You touch something. You touch the sand. I see people on the sand, laying on the beach on the sand by themselves with a fucking mask on. What is wrong with you? How long do you think if you sneezed into the sand? Into the hot sand while it's under the sun, how long do you think a virus can last on the hot sand? It's just so ridiculous. It's such a barbaric understanding of microbiology and how viruses travel. So Germanology, whatever the fuck it is. Right? So good morning, everybody in the chat. What's up? Bill West is here. Weevil Boy is here. Creative Revival. Her Pooper. Me So Hungry. Excuse me. Bebop. What's up, Bebop? What's up? Sniff Matt Tip. Sniff Matt Tip. Refilling the cup. All right. You can do that shit. Infinity Martini, motherfucker. Raymond Duncan. What's up, everybody? Good morning, everybody. Good morning, everybody. Thanks for joining me. And we're almost a half an hour in, and I still haven't talked about the main story. We're going to get to it. Black Jesus. Black Jesus. I think we got some more little tidbit stories. I'll try to go through this quickly. What else we got? Yeah, so just one more thing about Mount Rushmore. They're attacking Mount Rushmore because he has Teddy Roosevelt on it, and alleged he was seen in a statue being above the black and the Indian, right? So there's speculation that out in South Dakota that Mount Rushmore might be attacked and or removed because the leftists are attacking national monuments, right? So is it going to happen? The good news is no. Mount Rushmore won't face a revisionist reckoning anytime soon, as statues of former presidents George Washington, Thomas Jefferson have been attacked. The governor said yesterday, Wednesday. So, good job, Governor. Governor Kristi Noem promised to protect the famed monument honoring Washington, Jefferson, as well as former presidents Abraham Lincoln and Theodore Roosevelt, amid calls to remove statues of Confederate generals nationwide. This is no longer about equality, Noem told Fox News. This is a rewriting of our history, and in South Dakota, we won't stand for it. Ugh, damn right. God damn it, stand up for yourselves already. So that's good news. Mount Rushmore, under the protection of the good governor there, has survived. Right? It's not going to stop the radicals from showing up, but if they do, shoot them. So Jeffery Epstein accusers can now apply for Victims' Compensation Fund. Ooh, wow! How many women? How many boys? How many victims of Jeffrey Epstein, the guy who allegedly killed himself in jail? Jeffrey Epstein's accusers can finally get some justice. The dead pedophile's Victims' Compensation Fund is now taking claims, the fund administrator announced Thursday. Is today Thursday? Yeah, so today. Holy shit. This program provides victims of Jeffrey Epstein the opportunity to be heard outside the glare of the public courtroom proceedings and to receive acknowledgement by an independent third party as to the legitimacy of their experience and the long-term suffering it has brought. Yeah, fuck all that. Just pay them. I pay them. The program, which was created in November by the same people involved in the 9/11 Victims' Compensation Fund, is being run independently of his $634 million asset, which will ultimately pay the victims. So they're going to... I don't trust this. I don't trust this one bit. This sounds like a little fucking Jew lightning, right? Jewish lightning. Jewish lightning strikes, and the $634 million estate is saved. They might shell out maybe a couple hundred, maybe $100 million, maybe $50 million in damages, and they'll retain the other $600 million. So, but anyway, it is good news, I guess. Is it good news? I don't know. What do I know? What do I know? But so if you're a victim, if you got your ass pounded by Jeffrey Epstein, and you were a teenager and he tried to poke you, you can now get some compensation. So black. Enter Black Jesus. Black. Now, I know this is a touchy subject. I think this is the Black Jesus from Family Guy. I don't know. Whatever no, there was a cartoon. I forgot what the cartoon was, but that's the Black Jesus. I just stole this off of Google. I don't fucking know where I get half of the shit that I use, but. So anyway, Black Jesus, it's look, you could say whatever you want about Black Jesus, but the ramification here is that the radical left is going after, they're naming statues and stained glass and paintings of a white Jesus. God damn, what are you, crazy? That's like people's God. That's the God of people, of the people. Some people, most people, whatever, a lot of people, and you want to denigrate their God? Well, that's pretty fucked up. It's a pretty heavy allegation, and you're potentially throwing out there. This one idiot, Sean King, said he's basically, riling up the activists to target. That's how I read it. To target anything that implicates a white Jesus because it's racist and white supremacist. So here's a good clip. Let's watch this.
Couldn't we at least let Black Jesus hang alongside?
Forget it. The only Jesus I know is him, and the one thing he don't need is a partner.
Mama, how do we know Jesus wasn't black? He could have been from the lost tribe of Israel. They were supposed to be black.
I bet they were. If ever people were lost, we're it.
Now just hush up, both of you. This picture has been in my family for as long as I can remember. When I was a baby, I don't know what I saw first. My mama, my papa, or this Jesus. Now, he's the one I know and love, so let's close the subject. Jesus was black, the Bible would have said so.
But it does say so.
What are you talking about?
I read about it, it's in Revelation chapter 1, verse 14. I read about it in Muhammad Speaks. It says, his hair is like wool, and his eyes are like flame of fire.
Well, Lord have mercy.
Lord Jesus.
It sure do say that, don't it?
And see, Mama, look at that hair, like wool, ain't it? And look at them eyes, red like fire.
Yeah, they sure is. Judy, how come you decided to paint this?
I don't know. All of a sudden, I just had divine thoughts on my mind.
And for JJ, that's a first.
What, having divine thoughts?
No, having a mind.
I guess I ought to be grateful for JJ having Jesus on his mind in any color.
Then we can hang him on the wall, Mama?
Well, now,
Please, Mama.
All right. But just for Black History Week. After that, he comes down.
Mama!
I love that show. Dynamite. Yes, this shit was like, so what do you think, man? So, god damn. So here's the story, right? Fucking, that's history, right? That's history. I gave you the history of Black Jesus in TV, I guess. And according to the young man, it's in the Bible. Oh, shit, right? We know the history of Jesus, right? Who the hell knows? It's 2,000 years ago. Nobody knows what these guys look like. Nobody even knows if Jesus was a real person. There's speculation that he was a Hindu. He was born in Israel. He went off to Israel. He studied, under the gurus, and he came back and he was a guru. And he understood the teachings of the Buddha, but more so at that time it was guru worship. Right? You couldn't really connect. It was Buddhism. It was all Buddhism and Hinduism, and you couldn't really. I mean, just the time frame. Again, I wasn't there. What do I know? But the teachings of the Buddha had evolved into. It was so complicated to understand for common people that they would integrate a guru. And that seems to be in line with the teachings of Jesus, how he said, "Put your faith in me." That's kind of guru worship. Now, I know you might not disagree. You might disagree with that, and it's not in your Bible, and it's not in the actual scripture. But also know that the story of Jesus Christ, look at the corruption. If you want to look for where it got switched out, look to the corruption of Italy, for example, the Medici family in the 1400s, right? They fucking 1500s. Don't hold me to the date, but the Medici family, they were popes. I think they had 2 or 3 popes in there, right? And they at some point declared Jesus divine, and probably white, right? Because all the art that we know, when you go to Italy and you roam around in Rome and Florence and Venice, it might as well be called religion and art, because that's all you really see. You go into the museums and it's all Jesus and Mary and Joseph and heavenly angels and the Father and the Son. Right? The Sistine Chapel, it's all God. It's all religion in art, right? Jesus in art. And those were done in the 14th century, 15th century, 16th century. They weren't done around the time of Jesus. They were done 1,500 years after the fact, right? And so they painted them like the Italians that they saw around them, right? Like a Greek. They made him into a Greek god. So just food for thought. Just food for thought. So here's the slur. This is fucked up. Sean King. Fuck is Sean King? Right? Calls to remove white Jesus statues, leads to ridicule, outrage, and threats. Now, the irony of this guy, Sean King, he's a New Yorker. I think he's in Brooklyn, and he's white. His both parents on his birth certificate are white, so he's not even a black man saying this shit. Accused fraudster Sean King, who most recently came under fire for his shady media company, drew both ridicule and threats online Tuesday for demanding statues showing a light-skinned Jesus be pulled down. Quote, "Yes, I think the statues of the white European they claim is Jesus should also come down. They are a form of white supremacy. Always have been," King, 40 years old, tweeted on Monday over the movement of toppled monuments. So he's throwing gas on the fire. He's saying, yeah, topple the American heroes like Jefferson and Lincoln and Washington and Teddy Roosevelt. Now tear down Columbus, but go after Jesus. He's saying, go after Jesus. He's telling the people, go after Jesus, man. That is scary, right? Damn. Like, could you imagine if they said go after Muhammad or Buddha or Allah? Go after Allah. What does it say? Does it really matter what color his skin was? King then extended his demands to include all murals and stained glass windows of white Jesus and his European mother and their white friends. Yo, this shit is radical. They are, quote, they are a gross form of white supremacy created as a tool of oppression, racist propaganda. They should all come down, he insisted. If your religion requires Jesus to be a blonde-haired, blue-eyed Jesus, then your religion is not Christianity, but white supremacy. Ooh, these is fighting words. This is fighting words, man. Black Jesus. The Brooklyn-based king, who has denied being a white man, masquerading as a black, posted a photo of a dark-skinned Jesus that he says is the most accurate depiction. I didn't look at this. So let's see the photograph. That's black Jesus right there, according to King. Black. He looks like an Arab. He doesn't look like a black man. His lips are too small. His nose is more European. That's not black Jesus. That's an Arab Jesus. That's an African Jesus. That's an Indian Jesus. That's Indian Jesus. Hey, wow. So what was it? If you're Brooklyn-based king, okay, so he gave us a photo, is most accurate according to him, because of course Sean King was there, and he's best apt to talk about Jesus. White Americans who bought, sold, traded, raped, and worked Africans to death for hundreds of years in this country simply could not have this man at the center of their faith. The black man. He said of the reason for images to be lightened, the skin of the Son of God central to the Christian faith. So here's his actual, here's some more tweets. King's series of tweets sparked a barrage of ridicule and outrage and even outright threats. So King says he received about 20 death threats in the past 12 hours since I said the statues of the white European Jesus are a tool of oppression for white supremacy and should be taken down. It pretty much proves my point. Doesn't prove your point at all. It proves that people are irate and would like to see you swinging from the trees, you idiot. Doesn't prove any point. Your religion is actually whiteness with a Christian patina. What an idiot. Received about 20 death threats. Okay, so as well as threats, his tweets were met with ridicule from many online, with one follower asking, does it hurt to be this stupid? Honest question. They're asking him, does it hurt to be this stupid? I guess not. Along with the claims that he is really white, with his birth certificate listing 2 white parents, the former newspaper columnist has also faced scandal over his financial dealings. Newspaper columnist? Really? Where? I guess I've heard of his name. I guess it rings a bell. Sean King? I don't know. He was recently, it's not very famous in my eyes. He was recently attacked for his botched attempt to recreate abolitionist Frederick Douglass newspaper, the North Star, as an online venture, and was accused of failing to refund $27,500 in donations to his shuttered activist organization, Justice Together. So he's a fraudster. He's a guy who steals money. He's a debunked newspaper guy, retired. He's a nobody, right? But nonetheless, New York Post is covering it, and he's beating the drum. He's beating the drum to go out there. This is a form of, fucking inciting a riot, right? You're inciting a riot, right? Because the first window that gets broken, the first stained glass window, or the first statue of Jesus that gets their head chopped off is going to be on this guy's shoulders, right? Because these guys, the Antifa idiots, they don't know history. Like they don't investigate history. They don't know Teddy Roosevelt was an abolitionist, and all these guys were trying to champion equality. Right? They don't know that. All they see is they see the big white man, and they got the blacks in their ear saying they're racist, they're white supremacist, and they rile it up. So an idiot like King, a guy like King, broadcasting to these radicals that Jesus too is going to start a real fucking problem. Right? That's a real problem. That's where the guns come out, right? Protecting your religion. That's religious preservation. So whether Jesus was black or white or didn't exist or existed in the stars and in the heavens and he's everybody's father and he's going to return and all whatever. Leave the goddamn statues alone and let people believe what they want to believe. You say it strokes the flames of white supremacy, but where's your proof? Where is your evidence that the tale of Jesus is not exactly as they tell you it is? That he rose from the dead on Easter, he sat in the tomb, they crucified him. How do you know? How do you know it's not true? Where's your evidence that it's not true? If you don't have any evidence, the best thing to do is shut your freaking hole. Shut up. It's none of your business. That's for them. If they want to worship a blank piece of white paper, white paper as opposed to black paper, that's their prerogative. That is their right. That is their right to do. So he's asking, would you please pray for me, my dear mother Kay? She had to have an emergency surgery this weekend and has had to continue to be hospitalized as she recovers. Such a hard time. She's an anchor for our family, and we love her so much. What does that have to do? These guys tweeting out about his mama. About his mama. So, Marcus Conte reporting. Thank you all for the chat. Thank you all for the chat. Thank you all for the Patreon. Thank you all for the PayPal if you were so generous as to do that. Truth in Politics, my brother. Truth in Politics, we're talking. Truth in Politics is heading to D.C. 4th of July weekend. It's going to do some footage there, some coverage. We're excited to be working possibly with Truth in Politics. Let's give Truth in Politics a hand there, and we'll see what he comes up with when he hits DC live from Washington D.C. And supposed to be some rallies there. They're allegedly going to go after some of the Antifa is going to go after some of the monuments there. So there might be some heads getting cracked and whatever. It might be some good footage there. So do what you can, my brother from a different mother. So thanks everybody for joining me. Thank you, Adam, for the music. I like it. I think it's good. I'm going to give it another play because you got chopped up in the beginning. That was not my doing. I think your intro is a little too long. That's why I started it over here. I'm going to be critical now. The intro is a little too long. It's a 5-minute song. The melody is really good, though. The vocal melody, I love it.
Time goes by so slowly.
Oh, yeah.
Melting away so slow. Time goes by.
It has a very soulful, almost like I want to say Al Green. Is that his name, Al Green? Teddy Pendergrass. I'm not goofing on you. I'm just giving you my impressions.
So slowly floating away, lost in the sky.
I think you got a hit song in there. I just think you know it needs a guitar lead. right, man. Thank you all for sharing, man. Thank you all for joining me this morning in the live chat. Best chat on YouTube, so they say. So thank you, everybody. Adam Kalma, we're listening to his music right now, is here. And Bebop, Bill West, some of the best commentary on YouTube. Chris Milkey, and Harkview Cinema's here. Harkview Cinema, his lamb, Indefensible, JB, J Mac, Jason Walsh, Jim Gerard, what a crowd. Cassfilia Camdean, MB Boyak, and Martin Gerfrida, Me So Hungry, Quantum Epic, Rampart, Raymond Duncan, Refill the Cup, Sniff Matip, TJ, and my brother from a different mother, Vinny D. Martini, and Weevil Boy is actually a girl. Weevil Boy, what's up? So, sounds like Moby. Oh, that's good. Yeah, Moby. J Max says you sound like Moby. I love Moby. I met Moby in the East Village. He's a nice guy. I love the chorus has a mad hook in it. It really does. So if you're out there and you're listening and you have music and or video, listen. If you're part of this group, I definitely want to hear what you have, and more than happy to play it. And thank you very much. Have a great day.
Floating away, lost in the sky. Floating away, lost in the sky.